Will Smith is 57 years old. 57. Let that number sit with you for a second. For most men, the late 50s means slowing metabolism, stiff joints, low energy, and expanding waistlines. But Will Smith? He looks like he's still in his prime. Lean muscles, strong arms, glowing energy. It's like he found the fountain of youth and made it part of his daily routine. Now here's the kicker. There's no Hollywood magic here. No secret lab, no miracle pill. What keeps Will Smith looking like he's 30 are 4 powerful habits he practices every single day. And today, we're breaking them down one by one. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly how Will maintains his shredded physique and how you can bring the same habits into your own life, no matter your age. So let's get into it. The journey of Will Smith. Before we dive into the 4 daily habits, we need to step back and look at Will's journey. Because this isn't a man who stumbled into fitness. This is someone who reinvented himself over and over again. Back in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air days, Will was tall, skinny, and full of charisma. He had the personality, the smile, the humor, but not the body of an action hero. Hollywood changed that. When he stepped into roles like Independence Day and Men in Black, Will realized he had to bring a commanding physical presence to the screen. So he leaned out, built muscle, and began to craft the version of himself we now recognize as the action star. But his most jaw-dropping transformation came in 2001 when he played Muhammad Ali. To do that role justice, Will didn't just act like a boxer, he trained like one. For a full year, he lived the life of a fighter. He gained 35 pounds of muscle, sparred in the ring, hit the bags, and ran miles every morning. By the time cameras rolled, he didn't just look like Ali, he moved like him. That transformation proved something important. Will Smith's body wasn't built on genetics or luck. It was built on daily habits, discipline, and consistency. And here's the incredible part. Those same habits are the ones he carries with him now at 57. Number 1. Consistent functional training. The first daily habit that keeps Will Smith looking shredded is his commitment to consistent functional training. When he was younger, Will's training was more about building movie star muscle. Heavy weights, bulking, intense boxing drills. But as he got older, he realized the goal wasn't just big muscles, it was mobility, endurance, and longevity. These days, his workouts are built around functional movements. Push-ups, pull-ups, kettlebell swings, squats, lunges, planks. Add in sprint intervals, boxing drills, and cardio circuits, and you've got a routine that keeps his entire body strong and agile. Why functional training? Because it doesn't just sculpt muscle, it prepares your body for real life. It strengthens joints, improves balance, and keeps you injury resistant. And at 57, that matters more than lifting the heaviest dumbbell in the gym. But the real secret isn't the exercises themselves, it's the consistency. Will doesn't treat training like a seasonal thing or a movie prep crash course. It's built into his identity. He trains almost daily, whether he's at home, traveling, or on set. If there's no gym, he uses his body weight. If he's on the road, he runs stairs. The point is, he doesn't miss. For you, this is the biggest lesson. You don't need hours in the gym or a Hollywood trainer. What you need is the commitment to move your body daily. 30 to 45 minutes of focused effort, mixing strength, cardio, and mobility, done consistently will transform your body faster than you think. Will Smith isn't shredded at 57 because of one crazy workout. He's shredded because he stacked thousands of workouts, day after day, year after year. That's the true secret of habit number 1. Number 2, clean nutrition and portion control. The second daily habit that keeps Will in prime shape is his approach to food. Because let's face it, no amount of training can outwork a bad diet, especially after 40. Will has openly admitted that as he aged, his metabolism slowed down. What he could eat in his 20s without consequence started sticking to him in his 40s, so he made adjustments. Today, his daily nutrition is built around clean, whole foods. Lean proteins like chicken, fish, and eggs form the foundation. He loads his plate with vegetables, adds moderate amounts of whole carbs like rice or sweet potatoes, and includes healthy fats from sources like nuts, olive oil, and avocado. And here's a key part: portion control. At 57, overeating, even healthy food, leads to fat gain. So Will eats enough to fuel his training, but not so much that his body stores excess calories. He enjoys indulgences like his hometown Philly cheesesteaks, but those are occasional, not daily habits. What makes his approach powerful is that it's sustainable. No crash diets, no starvation, just consistent, smart eating that fuels his lifestyle. If you're watching this, the lesson is simple. Your body is built in the kitchen. Cut back on processed foods, reduce sugar, and pay attention to portions. You don't have to give up everything you love, but you do have to be intentional. That's how Will keeps his body lean and his energy high year after year. Number 3, recovery and sleep. The third thing Will Smith does every single day is prioritize recovery. And while it might not sound as exciting as a hardcore workout or a disciplined diet, this is the secret weapon behind his longevity. In his 20s and 30s, Will could get away with pushing harder, staying up late, and bouncing back quickly. But at 57, he knows that recovery is what keeps him moving like he's decades younger. That means sleep isn't optional. It's non-negotiable. Will aims for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every night, not just lying in bed scrolling through his phone, but real restorative sleep. Why? Because sleep is when your body repairs itself, muscles rebuild, hormones balance, and the brain resets. Without sleep, all the hard work in the gym and the kitchen goes to waste. But recovery goes beyond just sleep. Will incorporates stretching, mobility drills, and sometimes meditation into his daily routine. These practices keep his body limber and reduce stress. And that matters because stress isn't just mental. It shows up physically, speeding up the aging process. High stress and poor recovery are the fastest ways to look older than your years. For most people, recovery is the missing link. They train hard and eat well, but they neglect rest. And then they wonder why they're not seeing progress. Will Smith proves that recovery is just as important as the workout itself. If you want to stay youthful, you need to treat rest like training. It's part of the program, not an afterthought. Number 4, mental discipline and routine. The fourth daily habit, the one that ties everything together, is Will Smith's mental discipline. We've all seen people start a new fitness program full of excitement, only to quit a few weeks later when motivation fades. Will Smith doesn't rely on motivation. He relies on discipline. In 2021, during the pandemic, Will admitted he was in the worst shape of his life. He shared photos of himself with a belly, far from the shredded body fans we're used to seeing. But instead of hiding, he made it public. And then he got to work. Within months, he rebuilt his fitness, proving that age and setbacks don't matter if you have discipline. This is Will's superpower. He builds routines so strong that they carry him even when he doesn't feel like it. Training, eating clean, sleeping well, it's not something he negotiates with himself, it's who he is. And that's the real lesson. If you want to look youthful at 57, 67, or even 77, you can't rely on bursts of motivation. You need to build habits that become second nature. Discipline beats motivation every single time. The science of staying young at 57. Now, let's zoom out for a second. Why do most people look and feel old by their late 50s? The science is simple. After 40, the body begins to lose muscle mass naturally, a process called sarcopenia. Metabolism slows down, hormones like testosterone and growth hormone decline, recovery takes longer. That's why so many people in their 50s struggle with belly fat, low energy, and aching joints. It's biology working against them. But here's the good news. These effects can be slowed, even reversed with the right habits. Resistance training preserves muscle. Clean nutrition keeps metabolism steady. Quality sleep restores hormones. Stress management slows aging at the cellular level. Will Smith is living proof of this science in action. By practicing his 4 daily habits, training, eating smart, recovering, and staying disciplined, he has effectively turned back the clock. His body at 57 functions more like that of someone in their 30s. And that's not just genetics, it's lifestyle. It's mistakes most people make at 50 plus. So why don't more people look like Will Smith at 57? Because most make the same mistakes. They stop moving consistently. They eat the same way they did in their 20s, even though their metabolism has slowed. They ignore sleep, running on caffeine and stress, and worst of all, they let discipline slip, telling themselves it's too late to change. But Will proves that it's never too late. Even after setbacks, even after admitting he'd let himself go, he got back on track. That's why he's still shredded today. How you can start today. The real question is, how can you apply these 4 habits in your own life? Start with movement. Dedicate 30 minutes a day to functional exercise, push-ups, squats, planks, walking, jogging. It doesn't have to be perfect, just move. Next, clean up your nutrition. You don't need a Hollywood chef, just focus on real food. Lean protein, vegetables, healthy fats, and reasonable portions. Cut processed snacks and sugar, and watch how quickly your body changes. Then, protect your recovery. Go to bed earlier, create a dark, cool sleep environment, and let your body heal. Stretch, breathe, and manage stress. It will keep you younger than any expensive cream or supplement ever could. Finally, build discipline. Don't wait for motivation. It won't last. Build routines so ingrained that you do them automatically. That's how you create lifelong results. At 57 years old, Will Smith is showing the world that age is not the enemy. With consistent functional training, clean nutrition, quality recovery, and relentless discipline, he looks decades younger than his birth certificate says. And here's the truth, you don't need to be a celebrity to apply these habits. They're available to anyone, starting today. The only question is whether you'll choose them. Because 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, you'll either wish you started today or be grateful that you did. Will Smith's body at 57 isn't a miracle. It's a result of choices. And your future body will be too. So which of these 4 habits are you going to start practicing today?